Before the NBA championships, before the Hall of Fame, before the bad boys of Detroit, Isiah Thomas was just a kid growing up on the west side of Chicago. And to understand what made Isiah different, you have to understand where he came from. The west side of Chicago in the 70s wasn't just rough, it was unforgiving. Poverty, crime, systematic racism, generational trauma, it was all there. And for Mary Thomas, a single mother raising 9 kids on her own, survival meant enforcing a strict sense of discipline, pride, and self-respect in her household. They didn't have much. We were poorer than poor, Isiah recalled. We didn't have the lights on in the house. We had a jug of water in the fridge instead of food. But my mother, she never let us believe we were less than anyone. Mary Thomas didn't believe in excuses. She believed in effort. She didn't let her sons complain. She made them compete whenever necessary. And when Isiah started showing signs of being a basketball prodigy, the whole neighborhood took notice. The kid had handles, he had vision, he had fire, and soon the college recruiters came. Now let's talk about college basketball in the late 1970s. It was still technically an amateur sport, but under the surface, it was ruthless. Big programs were doing whatever it took to land top talent. And if that meant bending a few rules, sliding some cash under the table, so be it. And Isiah wasn't just a nice-to-have recruit. He was the guy. Explosive talent, Chicago-bred toughness, NBA written all over him. Local powerhouse DePaul was the favorite. Isiah and fellow Chicago stars Mark Aguirre and Terry Cummings even dreamed of staying home, building a dynasty right in their backyard. I was supposed to go to DePaul, Isiah said. Me, Mark, and Terry, we talked about it all the time, running the city, putting Chicago on the map. But college basketball isn't built on dreams, it's built on decisions. And the recruitment process, that's where things get murky. Every coach wanted a piece of Isiah. Every school had a pitch. Some offered starting roles as a freshman. Others promised to build around him. But some didn't stop there. One coach showed up with a briefcase. Not a metaphor, a literal briefcase. He opened it up and inside, $100,000 in cash. Can you imagine? No lights in the house, no food in the fridge. And here comes this man offering the answer to every struggle your family has ever faced. But Mary Thomas? She stood up. She walked over, she closed the briefcase, and she said words that have become part of a basketball legend: "My son's not for sale." Then she kicked the man out of her house. This wasn't a woman with generational wealth. This wasn't someone who could afford to play the long game. She was betting everything on values. Then came Bob Knight, the Indiana coach, the fiery general, loved by some, hated by many, but respected by all. He didn't come with money. He came with something far more rare: honesty. When he entered the Thomas home, he didn't even talk to Isiah. He talked straight to my mother, Isiah recalled. The whole time it was like I wasn't even there, he said. Knight didn't make any flashy promises. He told Mary Thomas 3 things. Your son will become a gentleman. I will teach him everything I know about basketball. He will get a great education. That's it. No bribes, no bags, no glitz. And for Mary Thomas, that was all she needed to hear. The way Isiah found out he was going to Indiana? He didn't decide. Mary did. She called a press conference. She sat next to him and she told the world, my son has made his decision. He's going to Indiana University. Isiah, I wasn't even smiling, he said. My head was down. I was like, what just happened? But once again, Mary knew something he didn't. Knight was no walk in the park. He was intense, demanding, unforgiving. But under his guidance, Isiah grew, and he grew fast. He learned how to lead, how to win, how to dominate. In 1981, just his second season, Isiah Thomas led Indiana to the national championship. He was named the tournament's most outstanding player. He was already a star, a leader, and he was ready. Isiah entered the NBA with a chip on his shoulder, and the lessons of Mary Thomas in his heart. With the Detroit Pistons, he didn't just play the game, he redefined it. He became the heart and soul of the bad boy Pistons. Tough, gritty, and relentless. Back-to-back NBA titles, Finals MVP, 12-time All-Star Hall of Famer, and he did it all without ever forgetting where he came from. So let's bring it to today. In the era of name, image, and likeness, we're seeing college athletes secure the bag before they've even played a game. Deals with Gatorade, car sponsorships, equity in companies. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not here to shame the players. Get your money, protect your worth. But somewhere along the way, we've stopped asking the harder question. What's the cost of that money? Because for every player who signs a six-figure deal, there's a brand shaping their identity, a sponsor expecting performance, a machine behind the scenes saying, you belong to us now. And too often, the values get left behind. But Mary Thomas, she didn't just protect Isiah's amateur status, she protected his soul in a lot of ways. She made sure he knew you're worth more than a number. And because of that, he became more than just a player, he became a man, he became a great human being. So let's remember something, Isiah Thomas didn't just win titles, he didn't just become an all-time great. He lived out a value system that was implanted in him before he even stepped foot on a college campus. He's proof that greatness doesn't just come from talent, it comes from upbringing, from discipline, and from your environment. From people who believe in you enough to say no, even when the world is throwing money in your face. So here's my question to you. In 2025, would what Mary Thomas have done even be possible? Would a mother today have the strength to turn down $100,000 if it meant doing what was right for her child? Would an athlete today have the patience to follow the long road instead of grabbing the quick bag? Let me know in the comments, let's talk about it. Because this isn't just a basketball story, it's a story about values, and we need more of that now more than ever. If you like this story, hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history, drama, and lessons behind the game we love, and drop a comment. What do you do in Mary Thomas's shoes? Thanks for watching, my name's Damian Peters, and I'll see you in the next one.